Everyone, this is Cat Dangerous, and I wanted to do a video showing a team that I'm using to complete stage 25 of the event dungeon for Queen of Hearts. So I unlocked and fused Lady Mikage this week, took her to 60 yesterday, and I subbed her in for Mithrala. Mithrala's a good person to put in here as well. Mikage's optional. She's honestly not that helpful for this team, but I like having her in there because I have a Toshiro, and I just got a 6-star soul this week. Some great luck there. And her A1 will call a Shadowkin to assist, and she also has a melee attack ability. I think it's her A3. So between those two, we can get the boss done a little more quickly. My best time is 1 minute and 43 seconds, and that powerful duo helps get it done. But I think the other important components of the team are ideally an aura that you like. I like the speed aura because it's stage 25. The mobs are pretty fast, and by that I really mean the ads that are with the Queen of Hearts. And then I like Yakarl for an AoE freeze. Lazarius's ability to block debuffs is also pretty handy, and his ability to um, shorten the duration of buffs on the enemy team. She puts out some nasty debuffs, defense down, and something that will block a revive if you die when you have the debuff, as well as some pack up buffs on her own team. And so managing those debuffs and buffs is pretty important. So bring supports who can maybe block some debuffs, but I think perhaps more important, at least cleanse them and have an ability to either freeze and control the ads, which is why I have your Carl here. Who cares if they're buffed if they can't move? You want to freeze them or put stuns out on them. You need to control them in some form or fashion. And I mean, you really want to pin them down. Just blocking their skills is not going to be as helpful because the Queen of Hearts has an ally attack and they can all come in and use their A1 against you. So you want to control them, or if you can't fully control them, have the ability to take the attack up buff off of the enemy team. And then she'll put out fears as well. On the same ability she uses to steal or remove all your buffs, I should say. And so having someone like Shamael who can remove the fears would be great. Again, a cleanser can get the job done too, but Shamael will cleanse fears off and then counterattack for all debuffs that land on your team. And that's really handy. And then his fear cleanse will actually feed some extra turn meter to your lead as well. So everyone's probably pretty familiar with his kit from his popularity in Hydra. So let's take a look at how this plays out. And I managed to turn off the auto battle in time, thank goodness. So the way I like to play this is I don't like to go right into putting buffs up because she's just going to use this off with their heads and take them off, as well as put the fears out. And I'm not worried about the fears because I have Shamael. But I don't really want to lose my buffs right out the gate. And it also feeds her turn meter, and she's going to use this off with her heads ability first, followed by this Queenly Command ally attack with an increased attack on her whole team. So I want to minimize the number of buffs that I'm putting on my team because it will trigger this Hail to the Queen passive. For every 10 buffs that I put out, I will grant the Queen an extra turn. So we need to be mindful of that. So we're actually going to use that ability against her. So I'm going to start off with just one pop that doesn't put up any buffs. And then knowing the speeds of my team members, I have your Carl here who's already about to go next. So I'm not too worried about him not getting to do his job before the boss takes a second turn. So again, on the first turn, she's going to take my buffs, and I'm okay with that. These buffs will all be gone in about 3 seconds. And then she's putting fears out on my team. But I did want to freeze Manaya over here. I think you could freeze any of them really, but I just like to have her under control. And now she's about to use this ability on her next turn. Um, some of these are pretty full turn meter, so I'm going to freeze them all using Yakarl's freeze, which cannot be resisted. And then I can hit them a little bit more. But when I get around to an ability that can give my team buffs, which will be Lazarius's next turn, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and pop this on purpose and trigger her turn. so that she will use this ally assist while they're all frozen. So that works really great. And now it's on cooldown for 4 turns. So I have some time to play around here, try to kill some people and decrease the duration of their buffs and so on. So I'm more focused on freezing here than stealing turn meter. Yes, it's nice to use his Blizzard Rider on Yakarl to steal turn meter, but he doesn't really need turns so much as we need to keep people frozen or kill them quickly. So it's good when there is a leech on the boss, and if you have Toshiro to um, go ahead and you can hit whoever you like, because there will be some damage going to a leech target as well. So she did get one hit in. Sometimes I complete this without the ads ever doing any damage to my team. And that's a good control mechanic. This boss will be dishing out a little bit of damage, but we can handle it. We can take it, and we can just auto battle it from here out. We should get her down here in a few seconds. Probably with Toshiro. Oh, well, we got our buffs taken. It may take a few more than a few seconds. So I think the way you want to play that opening sequence is probably not throw up a bunch of buffs because she'll just remove them on her first turn anyway. And if you have Shamael, no worries, you'll get a cleanse. Otherwise, you probably want to have your cleanser be one of the people to go early on your team. Um, and if it's Mithrala, you certainly don't want to use her, put her buffs out and use her cleanse up before the boss goes. So be mindful of that. And then just bring some good damage and whatever additional supports you might need. I don't have any healing on this team except what healing I give myself if Toshiro lands a leech. So, you don't necessarily need healing on this team, but in lieu of a Mikage or ally attacker, you could certainly put in any number of other champs here to give you what your team may be missing. Maybe another attacker. Maybe you do need some healing. Maybe you need an additional crowd control. So hopefully you can build a team that can get it done. You get decent drops from stage 25. Unfortunately, I've not been able to build a stage 30 team, but perhaps some of you have, and maybe you can make suggestions for who would be on this team or on a different team that can clear stage 30. So good luck to everyone with the Queen of Hearts. See you soon.